Have you ever heard of trash can?
Yeah,
They
those
used,
things are crazy.
it's a whole can of Red Bull and like 8 to 10 shots, depending on who's bartending that
Yeah.
night. Oh man.
Yeah, those things are terrifying.
Yeah. Yeah. I used when you're out Coleraine, do you know that real long shed that used to be a drive-through carry out?
I'm not really too
Oh,
familiar with
okay. Well,
Coleraine.
there used to be one. It's just like that Just Jacks right here.
Oh,
You
okay.
drive.
Yeah,
It's just
yeah, yeah.
same way. And I remember one time this guy came through Fluster. It's like my daughter was down. I'm not going to mention the name, but I'll bleep it out. He was like, she had to go to the hospital for like all kinds of heart problems. Can you believe that? I'm like, yeah. Do you know what they're know what they're serving down
Yeah,
there?
it's like I can't believe that you got.
Yeah, it looks like that Ivan Ooze stuff from like the Power Rangers. You look at it.
Dude, that stuff. Yeah, that's crazy.
So we got another event coming up. You've
Yeah,
been hitting it hard.
been trying. Been
Yeah.
trying. Yeah, April 11th at the Kevin Barr Event Center, which used to be called the Roriton
Yeah,
in
yeah.
St. Clairsville.
How has that move been?
It's been really good,
Yeah.
honestly. Like, I mean, I love like the stuff that we were doing in Wheeling, and
Hmm.
I love everyone who still throws shows out there. But it's just they're not all ages, and I've always
Oh,
been like super like all ages is how you keep a scene thriving, and
yeah.
there's just nothing. And then when clientele kind of closed or went through that whole whatever that was,
Hmm.
I kind of like it was only bars like Karen's Pub, Waterfront, and like nothing against those places, like they're dope, but it's
Yeah.
couldn't do all ages there. And
Yeah.
since we moved to Sancy, I mean we've got at least four, maybe five completely brand new bands, all high school kids. Some well, I
That's
shouldn't
what
say
it's
all, but
about.
like some are in college, but like high school, college age, and that's what the scene's been missing because it's
Yeah.
just like those are who like those are who's gonna take it to the next step or whatever. Because I
Yeah.
mean, I'm 30, oh, I'm 31, but
Are you an Unc now? Is that
oh, dude,
or you can see?
I'm a dinosaur now. So it's like I can't be doing this forever. And
Yeah.
I mean, I used to be the young one in the scene. Like
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
started throwing shows when I was like 15, and now it's just like I'm old and I don't
You're not
I don't
old,
want to be
buddy.
doing this forever.
Yeah. Yeah. I understand. But I mean, it's good that you're doing all ages because I know that like this genre of music, this style of shows is a lot of kids' first time in
Mhm.
a concert. So that was my first time. Martins Ferry Rec Center used to have hardcore shows down there,
Yeah.
and that was before I ever like started playing. That was my first exposure, and it really is like a slap in the face, like a water bucket to the face, seeing that because they're not a lot like I know the rec center shows. A lot of times you see fire hall shows. I mean, it's not a huge sound system. You're getting that rawness
Oh
at the
yeah.
first time, and I loved it. I loved it for my first concert experience.
Yeah. So the homie Mike's been throwing or been running sound for us.
Nice.
Mike Shatter.
Okay.
And before that it was Johnny Mac when
Hmm.
I was doing stuff in like Wheeling. But they're both their PAs are great.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like I'm lucky that I've found sound guys
Yeah.
for because there's been plenty of shows that it's borderline a karaoke machine.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, like I'm blessed now, but there's been
I'm glad you're
some
doing
bad
that.
ones.
I'm
And
glad you're
then
doing it because that was always a stigma when I saw like the hardcore fire house shows because it would usually be just the band sound, but I always would notice like the guitar player would turn theirs up just a little bit before 4 count, then the bass would see it and turn his up, and by the time like you start going, it is blasting. And
yeah.
it's great that you're bringing somebody in to kind of balance that out. It makes a world of difference.
Yeah, and honestly, even like before them, I mean, I gotta give a huge shout out to James Becca
Okay.
for Fall 50 Feet. But him and I used to run Thunderbirds with a bunch of
Yeah.
other people. But even before that, we'd always throw shows, and he'd always run sound, or especially his dad Tim, he's a crazy dude. I love him.
Yeah.
But so they were before I met Jimmy. I was thrown with like really small PA
Yeah. Yeah.
system that was basically like you wouldn't even be able to really hear it in a practice space type
Right.
thing. And then Jimmy was using his dad's PA, and so we just kind of used that PA. And
Hmm.
actually, I think on the April 11th show, because Fall 50 Feet's playing that one, we're gonna be using that PA system too. So it's gonna be
Nice. Who's the
gonna be sick.
who's the lineup
We
for the
got
show?
Cognitive. They're like a hardcore deathcore band on Metal Blade Records, which is pretty big.
Hmm.
label. Then we got Fall 50 Feet. Some people might know them
Mhm.
locally as they used to be called False Accusations. They're killing it. They're doing some really cool stuff. Then we got SOAM, which are a newer band. They're kids. They go to
Uh-huh.
like Shady Side, St. Clairsville, Union
Nice.
Local. So they
Nice.
bring a lot of people because it's
Great.
like all those kids come and it's awesome. And then we
Hmm.
got Think Fast Chuckle Nuts, which is a crazy name, but
Yeah.
they're kids.
Right.
They're out of I think Wintersville, but they're also
Okay.
like high school,
Yeah.
college kids.
That's perfect. That's what you need. There's somebody recently told me there's like a Route 40 band that just
Yeah,
started out there. Yeah, kids too.
yeah. So Josie from Barnesville News, the Barnesville newspaper.
Uh-huh.
She interviewed them, and I saw it, and I reached out to them on like Facebook or whatever, and talked to their mom. They're like in middle school, like they're real young,
Really?
but yeah, they we've been trying to get them to do a show. I mean, obviously they're not a hardcore
Right,
band
right,
like a
right,
punk
right,
band,
right.
but I
Yeah.
mean I throw other shows too. So I'm trying to get them find like a kind of like a more like a pop punk show or like
Yeah.
I don't know like an indie show or like
Right.
Midwest emo one to throw them on because obviously they're super different, but I think that it would be great to kind of
Hmm.
include them in as
Do you
well.
ever see Spinning Jenny? Ever perform them? They're from up north, around Steubenville area. They're
That
the three sisters. They started real young.
are they the Gus's Goodies song?
No, those that's the Joseph
Oh,
sisters.
okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They were country.
Yeah.
Spinning Jenny is like a rock and metal, but it's cool because there's three younger sisters and their dad plays
Oh, that's
guitar, and I'm
sick.
always like, that's me. That's going to be
Yeah,
me if my daughters catch on the music.
that's awesome.
Yeah,
No, I'll have to check them out.
yeah.
I
Spinning
recognize
Jenny.
the name for
Yeah,
sure.
they do. They do a lot of YouTube videos where like it's a live performance, but you can tell that it's going into a board and it's
Mm,
mixed well. That's what my next goal is to just really pump that stuff out because Ezra Hamilton
yeah.
from Wheeling, we did a 5 song live concert in here. But we built this setup, and he ran into a X-Air board that you can it does multi-tracking, so you can take it to like a Pro Tools and like edit. And we filmed the whole thing. And what he's doing is he's getting an EFC tag. It's like a NFT, but what you do is you put it in a keychain, and if you hold it up to your phone, it'll download that the music video with all the songs.
Huh.
And I'm like, I want to do that with everybody. I want
That's
everybody to get a
crazy.
shot to kind of do something like that.
Yeah, that's really cool. It's
Like,
kind of
yeah, edited audio, but it's a live performance. So everybody's playing together like it's a jam. It's feeding into the PC, which is going to be edited later to make it sound really nice, but still that live setting. And you have stationary cameras, floating cameras, so you can sell it just like a CD, like at concerts for like say $10 or whatever. People buy it, hold it up to their phone, and you have it forever. And you can have like one or two printings. You can have the OG printing of whatever.
that's crazy. Do you remember when like bands would sell like flash drives?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what that
Yeah.
reminds me of.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's really cool. I'm gonna have
Yeah.
to look. Shoot me a message what
Yeah.
that's called because I'll or
Yeah.
whatever
NFC
because
tags. Yeah.
that's cool.
And like you load them Bluetooth from your phone. You can buy like bulk Amazon, load them up, get like a little graphic for them. Yeah.
Dude, that's the future.
It is the future
That's
because
sick.
Spotify takes what 90% of
Yeah,
everything they make
yeah.
that way. I mean, you're in complete control at
Hmm.
least.
That's cool. That's really cool.
Yeah. So what are you doing any shows in with your alias? Am I allowed to talk about the alias
Oh
that
yeah,
showed up, died for that showed up here and
I don't really have too much. I mean, I've been so busy with a bunch of shit, but
yeah.
um, I think I'm gonna play. We have it's not announced yet, but I have one of my personal favorite artists coming through in August. That it's we just confirmed yesterday, no Thursday, but
Okay.
it's it's like a rap show, but I'm doing like a mixed bill, so I figured it'd be good to
Yeah.
maybe open it or something because I haven't been in the studio for over a year. I haven't put anything out in almost a year. I've just
Hmm.
been. I think the last time I was in here, I think that was the last thing I put
Yeah.
out. Or
That was a scary day because we were doing a flood
dude,
relief and it started flooding.
yeah, that was
That was
crazy.
yeah.
Yeah,
Because
dude,
I
I don't
remember
know if you've seen it out. I was down here for work yesterday, covering that fire, and
oh yeah.
dude, the
Water
the
line broke.
creek or whatever. Yeah, the
Yeah.
water line broke, but then the creek was like it was real. It was up.
Yeah.
Like I was like, oh, not this again.
Yeah. My buddy works for county water, and he was like, we have a water line break with no water feeding into this fire down the road. I was like, oh, great.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah.
That was wild. But yeah,
And I think the first time we met and you came into the studio for an interview, I think it was from the flooding the year before,
I think you're right.
from the summer. Yeah, because I
Yeah.
remember like Raylan Ball Field was like completely like
Yeah.
flooded and
Yeah,
everything.
you're
Yeah,
right. That was at the old place, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
Your house.
yeah, my house.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
was gonna
that
say,
side room. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
I forgot that was why I was there because I remember we did the interview to just kind of like talk about the shows
Yeah,
and stuff,
yeah.
and then didn't I interviewed you for like
yeah. That's when we
Okay,
first
yeah.
started out. Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
yeah. And you know what's funny about that flood relief concert? I have a friend. His name's Brian Tinnell. He owns Urion Sounds, and I think he was setting up a band or doing karaoke at Riverside Restaurant that night that we put out the stream. And you know, the first half of the stream we had Roger Hoare, we had some acoustic players, we had some interviews, and then it flipped to you and like Jay Nice. He was streaming that over his speakers to like the families eating dinner there. And I guess that we went from like, I think it was like Taylor Joe Porter, wholesome country. Then when we flipped the script, he said he had to run and turn the volume all the way
great.
down.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, because I remember we couldn't do it live because that night that we filmed, Comcast was down. We were
Yeah.
the only node in Bridgeport that was down, so I had to basically make the stream into a video and then release it as a live video. And I remember monitoring my computer, and I remember when Taylor's set was done, I remember looking at my wife and like, here's where we take a turn. Here's where the show gets a little crazy.
Yeah, no, that was really cool. That whole
Yeah.
that whole benefit, that was cool. That was the same night that, as I think Keys was throwing a show at Waterfront, right?
Yeah, they came
And,
in for a
yeah,
while.
we
Yeah,
all,
yeah. Big Hep was
yeah,
here.
Big
Yeah,
F,
yeah.
I met that dude. God, I don't even remember, but I was with Gavinci Bands up in the Cleveland All Star
Okay.
or the NBA All Star weekend out
Uh-huh.
in Cleveland. He was doing some shows. That dude's cool.
Yeah. That's awesome, man. You are the man on and in the scene. I always see you at different events. I think we ran into did I run into you at it might have been Slick's event.
Probably.
It might
yeah.
have been like the last one I saw you. That might have been a little while ago, but it was at the River City.
Yeah,
that was a good
that's
one.
what I saw. Dude, I love Slick.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the
He
best.
put on some good stuff. And he brings in a lot of younger guys and really, really turns them onto the business and knowledge and stuff. He did a G3 that just opened up in Wheeling. There was like a showcase / like contest with rappers, and I was talking to him after, and it was funny because I was like, the difference between like who's going to win and who's not is mic control. And he was like, I completely agree with you because everybody had an SM58, and you were either rapping where you're supposed to be a couple inches where I can hear, or they had it out here and screaming you couldn't pick it up. And I remember one of the performers had the mic up right in front of the loudspeaker. So I had the gain almost all the way down, and he was going like this, and he came up afterward. He's like, I don't know what's wrong with your mic, but I had to unplug it. It was rumbling in my hand. I was like, that's because you were feeding it right into the front of house. But it was just, I mean, you can't really teach that. It's something
Yeah,
you
you
pick up at
can't.
shows. And
Yeah, and I mean, I know G3's doing some really cool stuff. I haven't been able to get down there yet, but I mean, that's honestly like the Valley needed something like that.
Yeah.
Really bad. Especially, I mean, it's been what, like 6-7 years now, but the Edge closed down,
yeah.
Max closed down, and there's just
which club would used to be Yesterday's?
oh, that's torn down now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you talking about 1056?
That was 1050.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm thinking 1050. I played there once.
The Edge
Yeah.
was
yeah.
down by it's like the last building when you're driving across from like in downtown.
Was it the old Owl's Nest?
I don't
No,
know,
no,
but
no.
it's like on the other side of that
I think
newer like WVU
Yeah.
urgent care thingy.
Yep.
It was called it's like a blue building now.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I
it's
know
like
exactly
the
what you're talking
Vapor or
about. Yeah.
something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so after that closed down, there was nothing like, not venue-wise, anything. That's what's nice is like people are realizing you don't necessarily have to go like restaurant and bar if you want to put on live music. Focus on the venue, and you see like a lot of headaches are
Mm.
just out of the way.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, for sure.
Oh, you know what I wanted to ask you? I saw on the flyer of your latest show. What is the outside fighting in the parking lot?
What?
You have like pro wrestling
Oh, you're talking
type.
about Coachella. Yeah, I thought you meant on the one coming up. I'm like,
No,
I don't think we're fighting. I mean, oh yeah,
yeah, yeah.
the homie MV Young, he runs a wrestling school up in Pittsburgh. And then he does
Okay.
a lot of like he like tours and stuff like that. So he fought someone. I'm blanking on his name. I feel bad. But they did like a kind of like a street fight
I gotcha.
during Coachella back in October, and they just did it like at the show, like inside the in the St.
That is
Clairsville Rec Center.
awesome.
It was great, dude. The homie Chris West, he does like photo video stuff. He put it up. I think it's on the 231 Productions like Facebook or
Yeah.
Instagram.
Let's
That
check
yeah,
that out.
it was
Yeah.
fun.
That is awesome. Yeah, I saw that. I'm like, that can't be real. That's such a great ad to something like
Dude,
that.
I want to do more, but I mean, definitely not at the St. Clairsville Rec Center because it was just they were like, "This is a city-owned building. Like, please do not bring that back here." And I totally understand because I didn't even run it past them. I didn't even think it would be an issue, but yeah, I
Oh,
totally get it. So that's why I was like,
oh,
"Yeah,
forgiveness is so much better to ask for than permission.
yeah." I
So,
was like,
yeah.
"We're gonna chill on that." I would like to bring it back at some point just because it was just fun.
Yeah.
But I love wrestling.
Yeah. I can see some people looking at that immediately thinking the insurances.
That was exactly the reason.
Yeah.
They weren't like mad or anything. They were just
Right.
like, yeah, this is like, please don't do that again.
Yeah. 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 It's
Yeah.
like, I'm sure the people that did it were cool, but if in the future, like somebody
Yeah.
isn't cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
So for people that are interested in coming to the Kevin Barr and seeing this event, like what can they expect as far as like a hardcore show? They expect like a lot of moshing. Can they expect like a pretty like inclusive time if it's somebody's a younger person's first time coming in?
Yeah, I mean, there a lot of times like there's moshing and stuff, but it's nothing like I know when you see like
The most viral
yeah, like
clips of
viral stuff. It's like some dude throwing like a trash
basically, yeah,
can or like
haymakers. Yeah.
yeah, or like crowd killing. I mean, there's not really that. I mean, there might be, but I don't like. I'm not gonna tell you like yeah, they're not gonna crowd kill or anything like
Yeah.
that. But I've never. I think I've been throwing shows since like 2010. I think maybe like one person ever has gotten hurt,
Yeah.
and it wasn't even like honestly it was their fault. They like ran into someone.
Yeah.
So it's like
Yeah.
that was like the only time I've ever had any incident. Their shows are super safe.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're super inclusive. We try to be. I mean, obviously if it's your first time and you go alone, like maybe it'll be a little awkward for you, but I personally try to go out of my way and like meet like when newer people come into the scene and be like, hey, like what's up, and try to befriend them because
Yeah.
that's how you get them coming back, and
Right.
that's just like obviously you don't want to go anywhere where you don't know anyone and you're like chilling in the back, so it's like I try to like bring them into like the like
Yeah.
try to like hey this band's cool you should go talk to them or something, but I mean yeah I mean obviously you can't be perfect but we try to be as safe
Right.
and inclusive as possible.
Yeah. It's great too that the the younger bands that are coming in, their peers are coming in to see that because that might want to get them started into it. And you see, like if another high school was doing this, you're not far off from starting what you want to do. And it's not like there's just like you're filling it up with these veterans that are kind of like unattainable
Yeah.
to that level. But like you're seeing people that you're bringing in people that they see every day, and they can get part of this group and like get something going themselves. It's great for the future.
Yeah, absolutely. And like that's the thing is like I tell the SOAM band they're like they played their first show a few months ago with me and then they're playing this one
Yeah.
in April, and I'm like dude like throw your own shows, like throw a show anywhere. It doesn't have like don't think that I like obviously I benefit of them only playing my stuff or whatever like
Right.
technically,
Right.
but I don't want that to happen. I'm like play wherever. Obviously I don't want like you're not going to want to play every single weekend the same place or
Right.
like the same
Right.
town, so like space them out. But yeah, like I want these kids throwing shows. I like I want to do less. It's not like
Yeah, yeah,
I mean, I throw one show a month. It's not like I'm crazy booked
right.
or anything, but like the scene
That's
thrives
impressive
when
though
there's
too.
more people
Yeah.
like doing stuff together. And that's why like Logan of Stone Church Video, and Skylar of Fuzz Fiend, and like oh,
Hmm.
they're doing really cool shows. Try to go out, support them, try to see them, and they come through. Try to like, it's
Yeah,
just we're trying to build a community, and like that's the only way it works.
yeah. And really, it doesn't need to be a blowout show every time. If you can get a smaller show, even if it's like a glorified practice, but if you can get 5 to 10 people in front of you to play, you get somebody with a camera. That's all you need to get like content going. Just get your name out there to people, press
Yeah.
kits that you can send to other places, and
Oh yeah, absolutely, dude. And like that's the thing too is I've noticed that since we've come to like cross the river,
yeah,
the shows have been better, and like
yeah,
there's just been more people, and that's nothing against like everything, but I feel like the whole kind of like my whole thing was obviously number one, I want to get all ages spaces, and number two is like I just feel like there's so much happening
that's what I
in
was going to ask
Wheeling.
you. Do you feel like it's and it's like a compliment to the city in general, but do you feel like when it's like what was that clientele like you were competing with, say like the Waterfront Hall is bringing in somebody this night, and like River City's doing something to complement it,
Yeah.
and then you have a genre that's it's open, but it's not like that end of the week like the blue collar guys want to go there after you where they want it's they obviously like they want to sit at a bar and listen to like the tunes they know. So much stuff is going on in the city. I could see maybe where it
Yeah,
got
and I feel like I mean I got started throwing shows in Santa Clairsville, and from the time I mean, like the time I've always felt like Belmont County was just like not like they weren't there wasn't a lot of stuff happening there. But I mean I don't mean that as just like in general. I mean like specifically like
right.
music,
Yeah,
live music,
exactly. Yeah.
and I mean obviously like there was the Ferry Rec Center and
Hmm.
like all that, but that was kind of I mean.
It's crazy as big as it is. There's no designated venue.
Hmm.
There, I mean, there is like see the amphitheaters and stuff that they'll have their community concerts, but there's not really one big one. It's just like all like a Jerkles. Like all we do is like
Yeah.
concerts, you know.
I mean, speaking from experience, when I had
Yeah,
Thunderbirds down
yeah,
in Moundsville, I mean, it's, I'd love to do it again. I'd do it again in a heartbeat, but I don't think we're there yet. I think we could be.
yeah.
There's been, I mean, yesterday's, there's, like Thunderbirds if you want to consider
Hmm.
that, but like, I just feel like the scene doesn't have enough I don't want to say support, but like there's not enough going on where we could do this every weekend
Yeah,
or like two times a weekend. Now, if you do something like Waterfront or like something like that where it's like not really punk and metal and hardcore,
right,
we
right,
do
right.
like different and like
You have like a pop punk night, and then yeah,
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 and which is great and that's what you got to do if you're a venue, but like
yeah.
I just I've been throwing a lot more like hardcore shows than I have been like pop punk and like this year just because out of pure like there's more heavier bands than there
Right,
are
right.
like I probably couldn't even really book a full pop punk show right now just because there's none. Like
Yeah.
there's Coke Works, there's My Heart My Anchor, there's Still Frames, there's like Splash Panel
Hmm.
and Someday Saturday. So that's like five bands.
Right.
And yeah, like that's enough for a show, but what are
But
the odds
also,
they're all available on the same
and I was going to
day?
say, and also I was going to say, like Doug is constantly throwing those kind of shows
Hmm.
anyway, so it's like
Yeah.
you're competing for a niche that has that line, pretty much that lineup available.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
another person I want to shout out to when I was shouting out Skylar and Logan is definitely Doug. I love Doug.
Yeah.
He's been doing it longer than I've been doing it. So I've been seeing him. I've known him forever, and I love. He's a good dude.
Yeah. Very very involved in the community, and always makes a point like to go out to somebody's shows if like you are supporting them. And
Mhm. Yeah. Honestly, I need to go out to his stuff more often. I try, but I'm
he
busy.
puts so much thought into production. I mean, like
Yeah. Yeah.
they have like 10 bubble blasters. Like you can just if you walk into a splash panel show, anybody can just grab them and just start going wild anytime they want. It's such a smart move for marketing.
Yeah.
And then they work with Urion Sounds, Brian, who's at Rent Center. I was telling you about earlier,
Mm.
and he has all that stuff, all that production stuff. So usually they're putting on. I mean, I know that they're at Brian's house, like practicing like programming lighting weeks ahead of time before the show, just so like all the lighting like communicates with all their other electronics with their track, and it is very deep how they go into their shows.
That's sick.
Mm. So let me ask you this: when you're not out and about, and when you're not producing music, what do you nerd out on? Like, what is your like? What do you unwind with? You
Just like Netflix,
Netflix
like
and yeah.
Hulu, all that stuff.
My wife and I just finished Beast Games.
Oh,
I don't know if you've ever watched it. It was the most just gut wrenching thing watching.
really?
Yeah,
That's the Mr. Beast thing, right?
yeah,
Is
yeah. It's
crazy. I've seen like maybe one. Do you remember oh, what the heck was that show called? Like maybe like American Dragon or something like that. It was like basically the same as the Ninja Warrior, but it was like Netflix. Or was that
oh,
called the Beastmaster?
I know you're talking about. They did have one. I can't remember what
Yeah.
the name
I used to
was.
watch that
Yeah,
one all the
yeah.
time. That one was sick. I have is that kind of like what
It
the Mr.
they
Beast one is?
they do obstacles, but it's like a lot of like moral stuff.
Really?
So okay, here's what I've been thinking about this constantly. Like what I would do. My wife and I have been arguing with it about this. So like there's a million. Say when there's in the season when there was 10 people left, they had $1 million in this big glass case, and they had to vote. The 10 people had to vote amongst themselves who the most trustworthy was, and they had to rank them 1 through 10. And then there's $1 million in this glass case, and depending on which one you were ranked, you went in one at a time and decided how much money you would take from that million and walk out and leave the rest. And so, like when everybody started the game, everybody shook hands, like, "All right, we're each taking 100,000, so everybody can win 100,000, right?" First guy comes in, looks at the cash, he's like, "I'm taking 250 grand." Next guy comes in, and I'm like arguing with my wife. I was like, "It's a competition, babe. I'm going in taking that mill
I
and
was gonna
more."
say, I'm surprised no one just said, "Okay, yeah, I'll take the
Yeah,
mill."
yeah, that.
Yeah,
And she's like, "Really, you would do that?" And he's like, "Think of the other people." I'm like, I'm not robbing them." You
yeah.
know what I
It's
mean? But
not. I mean, what about the? You said it was the top 10.
top 10, so
So the 11th person didn't get that money either. So it's
no.
like,
No, and it's kind of sad too, because like when the ninth person in line went to go check the caster was like 14 grand left when they were expecting like 100 grand.
oh my god, that would suck.
Yeah. Then I found out afterwards. I researched that like half of them that won that cash didn't even file their taxes right, so they just got stolen. I think California
Oh my
50% like that
god.
or something like that.
Dude, that's the thing with those shows. It's like, yeah, like that's great that like Mr. Beast is giving you like a Ferrari or something, but then you got to pay tax on it.
Yeah, one
There's
guy
no way I
won.
could afford tax on that.
Yeah, one guy won a island.
An
And
island.
1.8, yeah, it was an island that was worth 1.8 million. It was like the island that Neighbors, the island that they shoot Survivor on. And the winner was like, "I think I'm going to sell it. Like, what do you want me to do?"
Yeah,
Like
I
it
mean,
had like a nice like almost looked like an Epstein like mansion in the center of it. And he's like,
God,
"What do I would pay for the upkeep of this place?" And
yeah.
it just
That's what like I mean I know people kind of hate on Mr. Beast and stuff,
yeah,
and I can't really say like it's good or bad that they don't I don't really know too much about him,
yeah,
but yeah, I mean it's cool that he gives that stuff, but then you got to pay the taxes or you got to pay the upkeep, and it's like
yeah.
kind of turns into the whole like pimp my ride thing where it's like
What do I do?
they
This
never
fish tank in
actually
a
they never actually fix the car. They just yeah
right.
put a fish
Yeah,
tank in it. It's like yeah, I don't this
yeah.
car still doesn't work. Like I still can't use this.
There was a meme I saw a guy on the phone. He's like, "So what they sell the resale value was this?" He's like, "Even with the 360, that's what the Xbox 360 hookup."
Yeah.
Oh. When we were in Matt's band and touring, we had a flat screen on the bus and hooked up to an Xbox.
Yeah.
But if the bus went over 70 mile an hour, you would lose signal on your Wi-Fi. So
Hmm.
if we were on like 70, like going to Columbus and back, you just pray that our driver Doug didn't go over a little bit so you could still play Call of Duty.
That's awesome.
What where's the farthest you toured? Because I know you've been on
Uh Probably like Vegas.
Vegas.
Um like Vegas, Utah, like
Nice.
I mean, I've gone as far west as you can without hitting like Cali. I
Okay.
haven't got to go to Cali yet.
So were you the one that was like organizing them? For
Yeah, I've booked about like 90% of the tours I've been on.
so
Um,
what was your like your whole thing with touring? Like what was your approach to it? Like for like maybe like a younger band that's getting into one of your shows that want to have that, like what did you set like yourself like a certain number of shows you wanted to do, or is it like a distance thing or a timing thing? How did you kind of balance that?
so I mean, it's definitely everything. Like it's all three of those things you just said. I mean, it's definitely time because I mean, especially if you're working
Yeah.
or working, like they're not going to give you like a month off. Like
Right,
so,
right.
if you got like a job that you gotta do that, a lot of what I did when I was like heavily touring is I would basically just like get a job Boscov's. Like I worked at Boscov's
Okay.
probably like 20 times
Oh,
because
really?
I
Yeah.
would literally just work there until like like a day before the tour, and then I'd like that would be my last day. And then I'd do like 3 or 4 tours, kind of like jumble them all like
Gotcha.
nonstop. And then when I come back from tour, I'd be like, "Hey, can I, like you guys hire me back?" And
Yeah.
like they did for the most part, and that was super cool. I wouldn't really recommend doing that, but that was what I like. I mean, I just kind of find a job that like you got to work it, and
Hmm.
they'll work with you because I mean, there's no money in this stuff. I mean, you're lucky if you break like
Yeah.
you come home with like maybe like a couple $100
Yeah.
after like breaking even.
Especially, I mean, starting out, especially before like maybe you can get to the part where like you start owning the production for it. Then you're cutting, you have that kind of stuff. You're cutting out, and I tell people all the time, it's like even if like if you're a kid starting out the band, if you can start just a business under that band's name, your gas is a tax write off. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
every single expense. Like I wish I knew that
Yeah.
going in. Like every pack of guitar strings I could have written off, like any cable, like all this stuff. And
Yeah, the problem with that is like you never make enough to file taxes anyway when you do it, so it's not like it really matters.
well,
But yeah, I feel you. That's definitely super solid advice. And then as
yeah,
far as like routing wise, I mean, you especially if you're starting out, you
yeah,
want to try to like start a tour at home. So like do like a tour kickoff show. So it's like
yeah,
you can get your friends to come out and be like, "Hey, like buy some buy some merch. Like
yeah,
we're going on tour," or like you guys can get some of the door money or get it so you figure it out.
right,
And then like you just kind of keep on, you want to be like yeah, I want to go down to Florida. So it's like, okay, how can I get to Florida in the less amount of time possible without driving like straight there. So
right,
it's
right,
like,
yeah,
yeah, like I wouldn't recommend anything less than 6 hour drives in between.
hmm,
And I'd probably 8 hours is usually what
yeah,
you do, just eight
yeah.
hour drives. So it's like go and just play every night and don't. And the biggest thing I'll say, this is the best advice I ever
Biggest advice right here.
got is don't hit up the venues. Don't hit up a venue. Go to that venue on Facebook and like go to their events and see who's throwing those shows.
Hmm.
So like if there's a production company or
Yep,
like
yep,
if there's a band throwing them,
yep.
hit that production company up or hit that person up.
A
And
lot of
then
times it's a bartender that's acting as the booking agent.
yeah,
That you would never, if you would go right to the manager, you would never figure out.
yeah.
Yeah,
And a lot of the times like those booking agents or like talent buyers or whatever at like venues, they're not going to book you cuz they don't like you don't have any draw.
right.
But like like if you hit up the like production company that are like someone like me basically,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
if
yeah,
you like obviously if you hit up the Kevin Barr Event Center, they're gonna be like, dude, like we can rent you this,
yeah,
like,
yeah. Exactly.
but
Yeah,
you just hit up them and then like for instance if I couldn't do it, just be like, okay, well, like can you send me to someone or like recommend someone, and then like I'd recommend like some of the promoters we just talked about
right.
and or some of the bands and be like, hey, like talk to them. And especially if you're throwing shows, show swap with people. So like, hey, like I need this date in your town. I'll book like if you book me there and give me I don't know 150.
Hmm.
I'll book you when you're coming through my area and I'll give you 150. So it's like basically just like
Gotcha. Yeah.
exchanging 150 like is always like a joke in the scene where it's like the whole DIY community runs off the same 150. Like it just keeps on getting passed around forever.
That's funny. I we had the same like conversation with this marketer promoter in Nashville. The craziest advice I ever gotten because it fell along the lines of don't go directly to the venue. Like don't just like go hit up their Facebook page a lot of time like this is us. Can you get us in? A lot of times that'll work. This one guy told us that the most success he had in like a bigger area like Nashville is when you do a little research into these venues or bars that you want to play at. Say if the booking agent, whoever's the talent buyer is a dude, younger dude. He said, find the most attractive female send her in and say, we love this band. I would bring myself and all our friends if you come. Like, here's our contact info. He said that works like 90% of the time.
Funny.
If I was like that, man, that kind of.
That's funny.
But yeah, it's like you said. Either way, it just do a little bit of research to not waste your time, and it's not like you're cold calling up and down like a coast to try to find.
Dude, my biggest advice about playing Nashville is don't play Murfreesboro. Like
Right. Yeah.
Murfreesboro is 1,000 times
Yeah.
better. Like unless no, I mean I've played some great shows in Nashville, but that's because I've played Murfreesboro probably 100
Yeah.
times. So it's
Yeah.
like they're so close. It's kind of like similar to how like St. Clair. It's a little further, obviously, but like
Right.
St. Clairsville and Wheeling. But it would be like if everyone in the world was trying to come to Wheeling. And
Exactly.
so it's like
Exactly.
Nashville's like the same like or not the same. It's like the one of the biggest places for music. So
You're
it's
the
like everyone
smallest
wants
fish in the biggest
yeah.
pond.
That's another thing is like Murfreesboro like you I might be saying this because we're a small market, but
Hmm.
some of the best shows I've ever played on tour have been in towns where you never.
Oh. Oh yeah.
Staunton, Illinois, literally my favorite place.
Hmm.
There are probably like 200 people in that town.
Yeah.
But like it's so small. Or like I said, Murfreesboro, obviously that's a little bigger. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
Peoria, Illinois,
Hmm.
Laurel, Maryland. Like you just unless you have like clout, don't play
Yeah.
cities. Don't play the big
Yeah.
cities.
I remember like I did it in the round at this place was pretty cool. Somebody got us in. It was like downtown, but it was in this printer's alley.
Mhm.
But I remember playing down there one time, and like I remember setting up at a corner of a place that looked just like Zontini's, and it was like there was so many strings that we had to pull to even play here. Like we had to know like a person that knew the booking agent for this pizza joint to even get like this corner spot. Like it's pretty nuts, and it's very humbling coming from Wheeling, where everybody is kind of a bigger fish in a sea market, like this smaller pond. You do have the back, and you go there, and it's just
Yeah.
yeah, it's nuts because you have everybody just as many people that are like grassroots independent artists. You have just the corporation above it that are just pumping out that kind of music, and it's a crazy world.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what else we can put in this conversation. We hit a lot.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I guess we don't. I don't know if you're wrapping it up or whatever.
Oh,
But
I'm just thinking of just tell me what you want to talk about. I'll
Oh.
take this part out.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah, this is why we
I
don't do
definitely
it
want
live.
to tell people like we got a show or an event every month from now until September booked. So we got April 11th, Cognitive at Kevin Barr Center. That's announced. That's everything.
Yeah.
I'll be announcing a show. When's this come out?
Let's see, this will come out Tuesday.
Okay, so the show will be announced by then.
Yeah, yeah.
We're calling it May Day. It's May 2nd. Younger, Hey Nostradamus. I left my phone in the other room. Younger Hey Nostradamus, Nervous Energies, Aurora's Light, and Junkyard Gym. They're playing on May 2nd. Then
That's in Kevin Barr as well.
Kevin Barr,
Okay, yeah.
yeah. And then June 20th, we have a super heavy show that's not announced yet, and that won't be announced by the time this comes out.
Nice.
But that's going to be sick. There's a local band, a big local band that's coming back for that one. That was
Nice.
going to be a cool surprise. And then July, we're throwing something that I've never seen done before, and it's not a show. So
Oh,
keep your eye
surprise.
out for that. It's going to be
Nice.
fun.
So when you're doing these shows, do you so when this one is done on the 11th, you pretty much have the bones of the next show like set together. You
Yeah,
with like
so
basic the lineup.
like so I want to announce, or I try to keep it so like the next show's already announced by the time that show happens, so then I can be like, hey, like if you had fun, come out to this one, and
Yeah.
like put up like kind of like have flyers of that show.
Right.
So like I always try to book like one ahead, and then obviously for booking when you're bringing in touring bands, because every show I book, I try to get a touring band,
Yeah.
just because you know,
Yeah.
touring bands. You want to try to help,
Right,
try
right,
to
right.
help, and then try to bring as many as
You
you
can't
can.
raise a
But
C market up without bringing some people in.
exactly.
Yeah.
A lot of the times it's touring bands who nobody's ever heard of, but
Yeah.
sometimes, I mean, I've been trying to get somewhere it's like at least they're doing stuff. So
And you're showing them that there's stuff going on here. I
yeah,
mean, yeah,
yeah. And
that's
then,
cool. That's a lot.
yeah, and then
Uh,
August we got someone he's he's pretty big. He's like one of those like underground like legends type things.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be announcing that kind of like probably like May, and that's gonna be a fun one. That's super mixed bill. That one's probably gonna sell out. Um, yeah, I'm trying to book some stuff for the fall.
That's awesome, man. When you're doing these lineups, is it your are you like more like pulling out your little black book from the time like you were playing and traveling, or is it more of like you have to do research and like find like newer bands coming out?
A little bit of both.
A
I
little bit of
mean,
both. Obviously, like the newer bands, like the high school
yeah,
ones, you haven't. Yeah.
yeah, or like the touring bands like Cognitive. They're a band that's kind of like they're on the come up. They're doing some bigger stuff.
Yeah.
And I've just been Facebook friends with one of them forever, and so I saw they were touring, and I was like, hey, like you guys, like their tour ends in like Nevada, and they
Mm-hmm.
live in Jersey. So I'm
Yeah.
like, well, if you want to make a little bit of extra money on the way back, like I got you at this. And that's
Yeah.
kind of how we have to book shows for touring bands in this area, like bigger, like more
Yeah.
established touring bands. Like they're not gonna. I don't want to say this. They're not gonna. I can pretty much only book on Saturdays because of work, unless it's like a crazy big offer.
Right. Right.
But they're not going to want to spend their Saturday here. Like,
Exactly. Yeah.
lack of a better term, they're not
Yeah.
going to want to waste a Saturday of their tour because
Exactly.
that's Saturdays are when they're going to want to play like the bigger markets, or
Mhm.
like even like Pittsburgh or Columbus or
Right.
Cleveland, or just because that's Saturday's the best day for a show, because
Right.
that's just how it is.
Mm-hmm.
But if we get them where it's like they're either coming from a tour or going to a tour, because especially when they're like the opener on a tour, they don't get to pick where the tour starts. It's just like, hey, this show, like I know you're from here, but that show starts like the other side of the country.
Mhm.
So luckily I've been able to grab some
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I keep like a Google spreadsheet of like all the locals, and
Right.
like kind of like separated by genre and stuff. But then for the touring bands and like the bigger bands, I'll just hit up their booking agent or hit them up on
Mm-hmm.
Facebook, or if I know them personally, or slide in their DMs on Instagram if with like 231 Productions or something like that.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome. That's so. What when you're throwing these shows, like, what's like? Do you have any like pet peeves? Like when you're trying, like like day of was like you run into like this drummer that says he can't use another person's drum set, or like you
Oh
have
yeah.
like those day of like production issues. I could just imagine that's like
90% of the day of is a pet
yeah,
peeve. No, I
yeah,
mean
buddy.
the thing that drives me insane is like, okay, so these shows are all booked. We've been talking about them for it's March right now.
Yeah,
The show in August. So I'm just using this as an example.
yeah,
Don't when
yeah,
I announce the show, don't be like, damn that band.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I gotcha. Yeah,
We that lineup's booked already. It's just not announced. So that'll be sick. We'll keep it going. And then like the day of that show, someone will be like, "Oh, dude, we work. Like, can we not play? Like, I can't make load in. Can we play like later?" And it's like, yeah, like I'll accommodate you, but like,
yeah,
dog, we had 6 months.
yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah,
that's the biggest thing. Or like bands that just don't promote. Like, there's I've just got to the point, and this is maybe not the best way, but I don't care like if I book every band in the valley. Like I want to book you. I want to do some shows together.
hmm
But if you don't promote, I'm
I
not
know.
bringing you. Like I don't care.
Yeah,
Like it's I've been for, and for years I'd be like, yeah, they don't promote or they don't bring anyone, but yeah, throw them on. And even like for people who come to shows, it's kind of just to the point, and it's probably like a jaded way of
no,
thinking
I
of it, but
mean,
it's just like we're doing this. I want you to be a part of the scene, but I'm not gonna beg you. Like
yeah,
I just don't care anymore. Like I care about growing the people who do want to like finding the people who do want to come to these shows.
yeah. It's just about optimizing it. You can't. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's for the whole culture in general. It's for the whole scene in general. I mean, and it's an obvious thing when somebody's not promoting and you're tagging them in it, and then you look at their page and it's just nothing.
Yeah.
And that the whole day, like the cancellation day of thing, it's crazy how it's always the day of, night before, or it's when you first get booked. It's never like that nice sweet like 2 weeks the week where you
Yeah,
kind of
it's
need.
not. It's never enough when I have time to replace you.
Yeah,
Like it's always like, oh yeah, dude, our drummer got work, or oh yeah, our vocal, and it's always a crucial member too. It's always like it's never
yeah,
just
yeah,
like someone who it's like, dude, just
yeah.
play without him. Who cares? It's like no,
Right.
that's literally the member. And I mean, I get it. I mean, obviously, it's just a local show. Like
Yeah.
I get it. It's just frustrating because I mean, all this stuff comes out of my pocket. I don't make any money. I just do this for the love of it. I
Yeah.
try to get all the bands paid. Well, I do get all the bands paid.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah. Yeah.
they all get paid. Everyone walks away. I pay a sound guy. I try to pay like the homies that run door. Try
hmm
to do that. Like I'm always the last to get any money, and
Yeah.
I've got money like once. like I don't do this for the money. If I did,
Yeah.
I wouldn't be booking
Yeah.
these bands in this scene or like in this valley. I mean, just because this isn't, I'd be booking country and
Yeah.
doo-wop shows at the Capitol.
So, like, the end goal you would say is like to be able to enjoy this scene while it's autonomous after you kind of
Yeah.
set up the culture that you're doing. I mean, you're on the right track. I mean, that's a great goal to have too, just to be able to enjoy it,
Hmm.
have everybody like know the system and
Yeah, and that's the thing too is I'll get like another thing like or I'll get like these younger kids, and I'm not talking about any of the ones that I'm currently playing the shows, but just
yeah,
like especially when we had Thunderbirds, they just don't get it, and it's like I get that they don't get it because they're young,
yeah,
but it's like I can only like tell like try to explain it to you, and you're not gonna get it. It's just gonna take time,
yeah,
and then they kind of like, oh fuck them, they don't, and it's like I just want the best for y'all. I'm
yeah,
trying, but it's like I can't make you understand how the like DIY scene works. You kind of just got to figure it out,
yeah.
and it takes time. But
hmm
yeah, dude, I hope 5-10 years from now. I mean, it's still gonna exist. Obviously, it comes in waves.
Right.
I think we're for the last year I've been saying like I think we're about to
Yeah,
enter
that
into the
trend
next
cycle.
like
Yeah,
yeah, I think it's about to start bubbling up, and I've been seeing it now, and especially with the addition of these like younger kids, because that's what the scene's
exactly.
been missing for about 8 years, maybe like 6 years is like, well, before COVID even. So
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I mean, when I first got back into booking shows like 2023, 24, um, Lunary, I don't know if you know those dudes.
I've
They're
heard of, yeah, I've heard
they're
the name.
cool.
Yeah.
They were like the only
Mm-hmm.
younger people in the scene, and now they're like in college in Morgantown. So it's like,
Yeah.
well, shit. They kind of like, unfortunately for them, they kind of missed out on it. But
Right.
they're still a part of, like, they still come back and play shows, and
Mm-hmm.
like Lunary, they'll be on that June show.
On the June show.
So I try to get them as much as possible, just because now the scene's like a lot better than when I met them. So
Yeah.
I'm trying to like, I don't know, keep
Is
it rolling.
I hate to even bring it up. Is the Thunderbirds building still
Oh,
empty?
dude, yeah, it's
I
basically
hate seeing your
condemned,
post because you to post
dude.
like it like it's a child and
Oh
oh
yeah, dude,
man
is
and
fucked. Like, sorry, I don't know if we're
no, you're
allowed to
fine. Whatever
cuss
you
on
want,
this, but
whatever you want to
uh,
say. I had Johnny Hart in last
oh
episode.
yeah,
I mean, it's a Wild West in there.
dude, yeah. I mean, I've said this 1,000 times, but basically, summary of how that all went down is I was on tour down in Texas. We were playing, so we were on tour down to play South by
Is
Southwest.
it Stage Moms?
Yeah, Stage
Okay, yeah.
Moms. And we obviously South by Southwest canceled.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if you're familiar with that festival, but it's like a billion different venues all together throwing one
Mm-hmm.
festival. So our venue said, yeah, the festival's canceled, but we're still going to play, like, have this show.
Uh-huh.
So the rest of the tour wasn't canceled. So we were, we just continued the tour, and
Yeah.
then COVID continued to get scarier and scarier every day. And so it was like the day that like everything shut down. I
Yeah.
don't know, like March 15th
Yeah.
maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Um that was the day we were in Texas. We were in Austin,
Oh,
Texas.
okay.
And literally while we were on stage, this sounds made up, but I swear this happened. While we were on stage, like, we play our set, we get off, I check my phone. Every single promoter for the rest of the tour messaged me like, dude, we got to drop.
Yeah. Yeah. Same
Like,
thing happened to me.
dude,
I was supposed to play at the Barrel House in Barnesville
mm,
with Matt, and I was like watching his phone, like, believe, hey, we got to cancel this. We had a residency in like Put in Bay, and they're like, hey, we can't. We're gonna have to
yeah.
cancel all this stuff. It felt like the end of the world just like
Yeah.
ended in an hour.
Yeah, so we had to drive back from Austin, just straight to
Yeah.
Moundsville. And as we're driving, my landlord's blowing me up, trying to like basically extort me for an extra $1,000, because I think they were just like afraid, because it's a live music place. So they're like,
Right. Right.
oh, they said there was like the window was broken, and I was like, I don't know how the window would be broken. Like, we haven't had any shows that
Yeah.
like I've been out, like. So anyway, we come back. Of course, that window was not broken when I came back,
Right.
but they basically said like, if you don't give me an extra $1,000, and then the rent would be going up to an extra 1,000 each month until the pandemic ended. That they were going to change the locks.
For a business that depended solely on to be
Yeah.
able to open to the public.
And the thing is like, everyone, like my family and everyone, was always like, you should have talked to a lawyer. You should have. And yeah, but that was like, everything was closed then. It
Yeah.
wasn't
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
that was the very beginning of the pandemic, where literally nothing was opened.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
and there was no one to talk to.
Yeah.
And we had thousands of dollars of equipment in there,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of it wasn't mine, because like I had business partners, like I said, that's
Right. Right.
Jimmy, that's who sounds. So like,
Oh yeah, I mean the
I
people
can't
in
just,
production, everybody has everybody's gear.
yeah.
I mean somebody has my smoke launchers right now. That person has his lights.
And plus we also would have bands that practice there. So like we'd have like local bands, and then we have like, I don't know if you know the band 156 Silence.
I don't think so.
They're like a metalcore band.
Okay.
But they would use our
Mhm.
use the venue as
Yeah.
practice space. Like, I don't remember who else. Like Jimmy's band, like
Mhm.
False Accusations back then, but Fall
Okay.
50 Feet, they would use it. And then like Sabo Cat, and like just like different bands. And I was like, yeah, just throw your gear in the gear room, dude. And so
Yep.
it's like, I mean, I was kind of like, I can't just like let this landlord take
Yeah.
all this
Yeah.
gear that's one, and I can't have her do it if it is mine. Two, half the shit's not mine.
Yeah.
So, and I mean it. We were already struggling. It's not like Thunderbirds was a smashing success. I was going through some health stuff at the time, so I was like always in and out of the hospital.
Hmm.
So it was kind of like, unfortunately, COVID
Yeah.
kind of like was the final nail in the coffin, but
Hmm.
we probably wouldn't have made it another year, even if it
Oh,
was.
really?
Yeah. Honestly, we probably wouldn't have made another 6 months. Like
Yeah, really.
realistically. But just the way that it ended, I
Then yeah,
mean,
just throw I need $1,000 and your rent's going up at a time where you can't make any money from
yeah.
this thing. That's
Yeah. And I never, I mean, I was never late or anything on rent. So that's why it kind of came out of like nowhere. I was like, I get it, like you're scared, but I've never missed rent. I've never been a day late for rent.
yeah. It's like, can we all just like chill and find out if we're all not going to start dropping here
Yeah.
in a couple
Yeah, that's
weeks to a
another thing
month
too, is I was
before?
like, dog, like we could all just like die. Like I can't
Yeah,
throw shows right now. I'm sorry.
yeah.
But
Because
yeah.
it's like you realize everybody right now is thinking of like how much money do I have to save to grab toilet paper, which is a
Yeah.
rarity anymore. And like you're telling me you just want more. That's
Mhm. But yeah, and then I mean, I guess kind of another blessing in disguise is I wasn't there when the fire happened.
oh yeah.
It's crazy though. I drove by it like a week before the fire happened.
Oh really?
And I saw someone walking in and I was like, "Oh shit." Like so I went up and talked to him. I was like, cuz I wanted the sign. I've been trying to get that sign back
Okay, yeah.
forever. And I went up, I was like, "Do you have the sign?" And he was like, "Oh, I threw it away." And I was like, "Dope, dude. Really appreciate that."
Yeah.
And then like the next week it burned. I was like, "Oh my god." I was like, "I'm going to get the cops are going to think it was me."
Oh man.
But yeah, I mean, luckily, obviously, no one was hurt. That's the best part. But that building is the first. They're the only one who's still standing with that
Yeah.
fire. But I mean, I don't think dude was
Big.
really doing anything with it to
Yeah.
begin with, and then now it's like I'm pretty sure it's condemned. If it's not, I mean, that building was. I put like $20,000 into that to
Yeah.
fix it up, and it still wasn't that good. Just because of like how bad it was. But yeah, I
But the you would say like the core people from there, is that who you carry on to like to these like future events?
I tried.
You tried?
A lot of I mean, now don't get me wrong, like there's definitely some, but I kind of made a post about it when it cuz just like a week ago or 2 weeks ago was kind of like it came up on my Facebook memories like
Oh yeah, it would have
6
been
years
yeah, yeah,
ago.
March.
But a lot of the people in my life now, like from work through like friend groups through the scene, they weren't around for Thunderbirds. They
Oh,
don't even
okay.
know that it like they
Oh,
probably don't even
really?
know it exists. Like it's so weird because it was such a big part of my life, and it only lasted a year and a half. Like that's crazy.
That is
Like
wild.
I've been
Yeah.
at the paper, like I've worked at the paper longer than I had Thunderbirds, which is
Yeah.
crazy to me because it feels like I
Yeah.
haven't been at the paper that long.
Right. It feels probably like just a whole like chronicle of like
Yeah.
yeah, a whole lifetime down there. Because I
Yeah.
remember always hearing about it because that was like when I was out playing constantly. That's when
Hmm.
I was going. That like and basically when like you look at the scene, it's not spread out like you would heard like everybody's going down in Thunderbirds when they do have events and
That is the one thing I've missed the most about it is like we kind of and that's kind of how it is now is like it kind of reminds me of is like with the youth kind of being involved but like also that's where I don't want to say that's where everyone went because there's definitely other stuff happening but
right,
like
right.
it felt like the same people came out and it was like all the homies came out when we had a show
Yeah,
and
it's like you saw
and
the show, you knew who was going to be there, what
mm-hmm.
kind of time you were going to
Yeah,
have, and yeah,
exactly. And that's not like that anymore. And I
yeah,
mean, in a one way, it's positive because that means that all these other businesses are getting people too. But then
yeah,
it kind of always reminded me, or what reminded me of that was that night Stone Campus threw that show at the vintage store down in
Is it Vintage Threads? Not Vin-
is the dude I forget. It's on at Center Market.
I know. Oh, Nail City.
No, that's the record store. But I feel terrible because I just did it. I just interviewed him for work.
I'm trying to
And
think because it's.
he's cool. He's super cool. It's like I want to say it's like Wheeling Threads or something.
Is it Vintage
but
Threads?
maybe.
I think it's Vintage Thread. It might be Vintage Threads.
Yeah. But anyway, that was like all the homies went out there. And that was
Yeah.
kind of like, it felt like I was like, I haven't seen you in forever. I haven't seen you. And like,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
wish that happened more. Just in general, it doesn't have to be through my shows. Just like, I
Mhm.
wish everyone got together. like
Yeah, yeah.
more. But yeah.
Well, buddy,
Yeah. I think
we
we've,
wrap this one. That's a good episode. 11th, Kevin Barr Center. What time's it kick off?
6 p.m.
6
Close
p.m.
at 6. And you can find like more information and get your pre-sale tickets because they're $10 cheaper if you get them if you get them online. Just get a 231 Productions on Facebook. It's spelled out, and then on Instagram it's at the number 2, then the number 3, then the number 1, and then dot Productions. For some reason, Facebook doesn't let you do numbers as a name on Facebook.
I know, it's stupid.
But yeah, I really hope anyone listening to this comes out. Feel like I kind of just rambled and ranted about
it's
everything for 2 hours or however long it was. So hopefully you're not turned off. But
no. This is the way the podcast goes. You talk about the event, then we just ramble, talk about the event a little bit more, and
I think it's gonna be a
clip
good
it.
event. I think it'll probably sell out. The last show, they're called like SOAM or SOAM. I don't
Okay.
know. But last time we booked them, they sold it out like virtually themselves.
Wow.
Yeah, dude. And it was just like their family and their friends.
I'll have to
and,
check them out. Yeah.
yeah, dude. They're cool. I like them a lot. They're kids who get it. And then Think Fast Chuckle Nuts. I actually don't really know them. I met them at that show or so.
Okay.
Like, I know them, and they were just like, "Yo, like we'd love to play." So I wanted to get them.
Mhm.
And then Fall 50 Feet. I mean, I've known those dudes, been friends with those dudes since like 2013, and they like Jimmy and David were part of Thunderbirds.
Yeah.
Jimmy was in one of my old bands. Like they're some of my best friends. Then we got Cognitive, and Cognitive rips. They're gonna be famous. Like it's one of those bands where like you can just see them continually get better tour opportunities, more streams, and so yeah, don't in 2 years when they're famous, don't be like, dang, I wish I would have saw them in St. Clairsville.
Yeah.
Just come see them.
Yeah, give them a good time in St. Clairsville. That way, when
come
we get an offer back, they're like, "Yeah, hell yeah, we'll go
Yeah.
back there." Yeah, and check them out. 231 Productions on Facebook, Instagram, because I mean you're always announcing new shows as one's coming out. So if you can't make the 11th one, there's going to be another one coming out in a month, and primarily all to Kevin Barr Center for right now.
Primarily, basically, so what I'm doing is like Kevin Barr Center and then the St. Clairsville Rec Center.
Okay.
St. Clairsville Rec Center is kind of like for the bigger shows.
Yeah.
So like if something sells out at Kevin Barr, then I'll move it to St. Clairsville
Awesome.
or
Awesome,
to
yeah.
the Rec Center, and that's what happened with the Man Overboard show
Yeah.
in January. Yeah, in
So, yeah.
January. Which sucks because then there was that big snowstorm and like no one. There was
yeah.
still like 80 people who came, but we sold like 130 tickets.
I remember that one
I was
because
so bummed. I was like, this show's gonna be amazing, and it still was super super cool. But then when you get it to like the rec center is probably like a 300 400 cap space, and you get like 80 kids there. And it's like, this looks empty. But then if I would have just kept it at Kevin Barr, that show would have been packed.
I remember that day because I remember the weather was fine until like 5 p.m. and then everybody was just like checking the weather
Yeah, that sucked.
and yeah.
But yeah, keep your eyes open. The July thing is gonna be really cool. I don't think I've ever seen anything like it before, so you're not gonna want to miss that. You're not gonna want to miss any of these shows. All the bands that we're bringing in, they're all really good. They're all really solid.
Oh yeah, Gage Vota, thank you for coming in. So we finally got an episode in after all this planning.
Yeah.
Thank you for tuning in, everybody.
Yeah.